All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for waiting. We are going live with the Chobo Star League Season 2 finals here, featuring MrLando versus Nycro. My name is G-Dog Casey. With me today is KO Ali. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to see this PVT. Like all the qualifiers, all the other games have led to this last two
Yeah,
men standing.
yeah, for sure. And it always, I mean, with Team All In and Team UR, there's always people from those two teams here in the, at least the top four, in pretty much everything that I ever see in regarding CTL and that type of thing. So it's going to be another clash between our two teams.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. Like that. Obviously, YR had Monk and Roxas make it to the round of four, or the round of four, and then like both get eliminated 3-0. But obviously, MrLando and Nycro, solid performers. Like they just kind of, I don't know if dominated the league is correctly how to phrase it, but they've both like done like exceedingly well in their round of 16 and round of 32 groups, as well as the quarter and semis. So
Yeah, for
obviously
sure.
top performers.
Yeah, they have been taking out some pretty key players as well. Mr. Lando actually taking out Monk in the round of 16, which is one that I would have thought might have been a lot closer. And also, Lando also took out P. Sosa, which is the reigning champion from season one. So,
Yeah.
really bringing it this season.
Yeah, those. It's interesting you mentioned those P Sosa games. They were that was a very interesting series. A lot of unorthodox play, but definitely one to watch. Go back and like check out those VODs.
Yeah, there's a lot of history between those two guys. And Lando usually does come out on top, although P. Sosa in tournaments, he's a different type of player when it comes to tournament play. But that being said, it just makes it that much better that Lando was able to take him out. And on Nycro's end, he also took out P. Sosa in Group C of the round of 16, and then going through the playoffs, he was able to get past Monk as well. So similar
Yeah,
opponents for both players, and it's going to be nice to see who wins in the end here.
yeah. It's like obviously the road has been. I feel like the road has been quite tough, like in comparison to a lot of players. And just to make it this far is quite an accomplishment. But going into this first game, Iron Fortress be an interesting battle for these two survivors.
Yeah, and it's really going to be a good chance for Mr. Lando to sort of set the pace at the start of this series, given the fact that I believe that Iron Fortress is a pretty Terran-favored map here. There's lots of drop space, huge mains to drop in, and we'll see if Mr. Lando will take advantage of that.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's one of those maps. Like it's not necessarily super favored for any races, but it definitely favors certain playstyles. Taking third base is very difficult. Taking fourth base is even harder for any race. So we're gonna see if Nycro is gonna try and go for some two base shenanigans, as Protoss is known to do.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's go ahead then. We are on the map now, so let's go ahead and introduce the players. In the bottom left corner of Iron Fortress, spawning for Para OP, he is Nycro.
And in the bottom right, in the red, we have the all inspiration Terran player, MrLando. So yeah,
So I used
just
to
like
think. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, like I guess we were saying earlier, these positions it's even like harder to get good third and fourth. Because if you take like the traditional third base, that's a little bit above your natural. That's like on these positions, it's like 5 feet away from where your opponent would be taking their third. So we're gonna see either like players expand further away to what's traditionally like the fourth base location that's above their main, or just go for like some intense two base play. So it should be entertaining for game one.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we all know about that infamous gap here between like you said, the traditional third bases.
Yeah.
That's really going to be favored for Lando if he feels like getting siege tanks. But luckily for Nycro, the siege tank isn't really used all too often in TVP, so good chance that he won't have to deal with that. But it might come up.
And it's worth noting that this is the map pool that's been used for like the entire CSL. So these players, like, not only has it been the ladder map pool, but they've been practicing on it. They've been preparing builds for it. So we could see some builds that have come out in previous series that they've played, or just like some super intense secret special builds that they've made up just for these maps. So should be exciting.
Yeah, that's what I love to see in tournament games like this. Interesting to note right off the bat here. Well, it was interesting, but now Nycro's only got 2 guys in one gas and 1 guy in the second one. But I saw him drop the double gas, and it made me think that he had some fancy tech play.
Yeah, against Monk, he did that I think every game, getting the double gas and then putting two probes in each geyser. I think it's just like something he likes to do to kind of control his like gas and mineral income a little bit. I remember last series Polar, who is another Protoss caster, was mentioning that that's like something that he's seen like rise in popularity a little bit, because it's not like, it's a little bit more gas than just getting 1 gas and putting 3 in each geyser, but it's not the full 6 probes in gas, which kind of hurts your mineral income a lot.
Yeah, for sure, and it'll allow him to get out like a sentry if he wants, or maybe some extra stalkers. Just give him a little bit more wiggle room. This engineering bay block is awesome from Lando here. It's really
interestingly enough, he does make the Zealot, so it's not going to be too useful. But obviously this Reaper here is going to be able to harass the Zealot a little bit. Almost, actually starting to do some actual damage. Getting it down to the yellow before that Mothership core is going to try and shoot that Reaper away.
Overall, nice little hassle. I don't know if Nycro really wanted to finish that Zealot, but he's got it now, so at least he'll be able to keep this Reaper from really doing everything that he wants to do and kind of zone him out. But in the meantime, we got the expansion going down. I think that was before the factory. In any case, it was right around the same time as the factory.
Yeah, a little bit before.
Yeah, so we'll be going into the mid-game here, which is to be expected.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he decides to use this for. He got the quick reactor, so he's going to be able to pump out a little bit, a couple of Marines. Also in the previous series, we saw Nycro go for some really intense, like, really early aggression, like off 1 base, or even getting, the expansion but then not saturating it. So I would assume that Lando checked out those VODs because it was the same PvT matchup, and noticed that that was something that Nycro liked to go for. So maybe he's like adjusting his build a little bit here, getting like the earlier Marines out.
Yeah, we got a pretty serious supply block going on here for Lando right now. I'm not sure, I don't think that was intentional at all. I know the command center will finish up.
Yeah, waiting for that command center. But yeah, like you mentioned, his minerals and gas, he's at 400 minerals, 100 gas, which like for this phase of the game, not really where you want to be. But I'm sure he'll be able to get his macro a little bit under control as he starts to pump out these mines and medevacs.
Yeah, so with this fast robo facility we see out of Nycro here, we were talking earlier about how we might see a 2-base play, and this does, in my opinion, I think this sort of points towards that a little bit. So we might see like a 2-base Colossus push here, which is a possibility, which could do pretty good on this map, but Lando scouted it out with his SCV that hung around in Nycro's base for way too long, was able to get a scout off on that.
Yeah, I think definitely going for the robo, especially in like the modern meta of like mine jobs being so common, is like definitely the right decision. And then you mentioned possible Colossus, the robotics bay like instantly going down after making like the 3 observers. So he's gonna be pretty well covered for any widow mines, as long as he's like able to react and like pull probes quickly enough. And he's just gonna pump out those Colossus as fast as possible. So here's like the loaded medevac. Gonna see what he can get done with that.
Yeah, and he's pushing on the front too with a few Marines here, which is actually maybe going to pick off a Stalker here. But I love the patience from Nycro, not popping the Photon Overcharge there. And he actually didn't kill a Stalker, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, so Nycro has spotted this drop. He spotted it with the Observer. Hopefully he was looking. It seems like just based on how he's positioning his units that he's got a pretty good idea of what's going on. He knows that there's a possibility of mine drop. He's, I would say, like definitely prepared. Unless, we see any like crazy miss micros out of Nycro.
Well, Lando is swinging around the left side here, but there is an observer right over the mineral line, so I don't think any damage is going to get done, unless he wanted to focus somewhere else other than the mineral line, but I don't think that's going to happen here. Going to be coming in here with the drop. He doesn't know the observer is there, of course, but now he does. And yeah, no damage.
Yeah, really good probe control for Nycro, knowing exactly like the range of that widow mine, so he didn't run all of his workers into there, like I assume MrLando was hoping for. And this medevac is very trapped, and it's going to go down. So really excellent drop defense out of Nycro. not what MrLando was looking for, and that is honestly setting him pretty far behind. Like we see, he's already 20 supply down. Um, he's like 8 workers down, and we see the Colossus are like already one Colossus out, second one halfway done, Thermal Lance a third of the way done. So Nycro, what I think what he might be going for here is one of those really strong 2-base pushes. We can see he's adding gates. Yeah, 2-base push, 2 or 3 Colossus with Thermal Lance. And just based on that start from MrLando, it'll be interesting to see if he's going to be able to defend it.
Yeah, the good thing here for Lando though is he decided to go with the 5 racks after getting his first expansion there, so he's not going to be going into a quick third CC. Going to be giving him a little bit of extra bio to deal with this push, but he needs to recognize that he's going to need Vikings very soon. This observer that's hanging out right over the ramp here for Nycro has been really annoying for Lando too, because he's spotting the drops move out, and he knows all about it. So
Yeah,
like you said,
I'm really
he's going to be
impressed.
nice and prepared.
I'm really impressed with this Nycro vision. Like, he pumped out those 3 observers instead of, the typical 2 or whatever, what have you. And then he's seen everything. Like, this observer, like you mentioned, he not only saw, like, the entire build of MrLando, but he's seen it literally every drop move out. He sees exactly what he has to defend. And so it really helps, like, you determine, like, what your build should be if you can see exactly what your opponent is doing at all time. So here's this Marine drop going in. Hopefully it'll have a little bit more success for MrLando than that mine drop.
It is going to hit at a good time, but Photon Overcharge is here.
Yeah, just outranged that a little bit, but this Colossus is just going to walk over and be like, I'm a Colossus, I do a lot of damage.
And on the other side here, Nycro's getting ready to push into the natural. He's got... Oh, Lando needs to unload those medevacs
Yeah,
here.
back up. I feel like he needs a couple more bunkers. He doesn't really seem like prepared for these 2 Colossus with thermal that can outrange the bunkers. Decent force fields going down, kind of trapping a little bit of that army. But it looks like Nycro's going to back up, warping some Zealots. Just going to use those Zealots to tank this poor Marine.
Yeah, he showed up at the wrong time there. So,
Yeah, so there goes the
upgrades
extra bunkers.
If Lando can hold off for maybe like, what is it, like 30 to 40 more seconds here, he's going to get +1 kicking in. But with the Marauders out here and Widow Mines able to sort of zone out the
Yeah,
Protoss
he's losing just so many units for free. That Widow Mine up on the ramp that was trying to burrow, that Widow Mine is moving, just lost needlessly. So these SCVs are in good position to repair, and he does have the second bunker up, but I feel like he's really underestimating this push's potential. We can see this third and fourth Colossus are moving across the map to rejoin this main force. And his drop is basically totally shut down with this other Photon Overcharge that went down at the natural. And yeah, the Colossus just outranging this bunker, just being as annoying as possible.
Lando trying to pick up on some positioning errors there, but Nycro is quick to move in the correct position. And now that +1 attack is done, I think Lando's going to use this opportunity to kind of try to push us back. But there's 4 Colossus here, and so many Zealots, and the force fields are annoying as well. This is going to be really hard for Lando to stop.
Yeah, I feel like his army is just so small.
Yeah, it is.
We see the first 2 Vikings are about to pop, but I mean, it's 2 Vikings against 4 Colossus with thermal. Like, that is not the position you want to be in as a Terran player. And really, I think Nycro is honestly respecting these Widow Mines a little bit too much. I feel like he could just kind of go in a little more on the backs of a couple of force fields and like a big Zealot warp in. It's actually a little bit supply blocked right now, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but I'm not...
really giving it all this attack here. Vikings are out, but there's enough Stalkers to make the Vikings have to be careful here.
Yeah, one just went down. And there's 5 Colossus. This is like 5 Colossus versus now 0 Vikings with 2 more on the way. And just really these Colossus raining down with their laser beams of death. Look at the kills on the Colossus. 17, 8, 6, 19 now, 14 kills on the other one.
Oh, that force field on the ramp.
Oh no. And that's GG for MrLando. The Colossus force was too powerful.
Nice build order choice from Nycro there. I kind of wonder if MrLando just decided that Nycro wasn't going to do that, because even you and I, who are not Terran and Protoss players, kind of thought that we'd see a 2-base style play coming out of Nycro. And I mean, it was the perfect choice. Lando wasn't ready for it. I think it also goes back a little bit to Lando losing a couple medevacs early on, meaning that he felt like he had to build a few more where he had to delay his Viking production, and he just had no Vikings when 4 Colossus showed up. So that's what happens.
Yeah, it just really seemed like at every moment in the game, Nycro was totally prepared. He started out with his build with getting the 1 gate expo into Robo, and then just pumping out those 3 observers, and then just immediately sending that observer over to MrLando's base and just parking on the ramp. So he sees like all the buildings, he sees all the units that MrLando has, he sees all the drops, and then he really just reacted like fairly perfectly to all the drops. I think, he took a little bit of damage on a gateway, maybe lost like one probe from like the 2 drops. And then it seemed like
Yeah.
MrLando kind of put all his eggs in the drop basket, and then when it didn't really work out, he was like, huh, like, what do I do now? And he was trapped on like the 2 bases. His Vikings were super late because he was using like the starport for those early medevacs. And then Nycro really just capitalized on the lead that he had built through surviving those drops, and just kind of crushed MrLando, honestly, but behind like the forces of those Colossus.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It was definitely a good game, and that's got to be a load off for Nycro getting through Iron Fortress and actually coming out with a win. So he's got the 1-0 lead, and we are talking about the teal Protoss player in the top left corner of Echo, currently up 1-0, representing Para OP. He is Nycro.
And in the bottom right hand position, in the red, from Team All Inspiration, MrLando, the Terran player. Now this map is like a little bit more standard. It's like heavily reminiscent of like Catalina, an earlier map. In that like the 3 base is pretty easy to secure. 4th, you have some choices here. You can either expand like to the base above your 3rd location or to the base above your natural. So it just kind of depends like how you want to play it out, like what units are going for, like the state of the game. So that'll be interesting to watch. I would anticipate this being a little bit more of a macro game. However, that being said, it's definitely like once again a solid map for drops. Just like anytime your 3rd and your main are so close together, it's like just like super abusable. So I kind of want to predict that MrLando is going to go for drops again, just on the fact that that's like 1, a super common Terran build, and 2, on this map it's quite strong.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even just against Protoss in general, it's strong. It almost forces them to have to open up Robo first, and then you can kind of guess where he's going to go from there. So we'll see. I have a feeling that Nycro will probably open Robo first once again. It's safe, and it opens you, or gets you going into that Colossus production nice and quick, which is always good against Terran anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
Yeah. And again, basically mirror builds out of the 2 players. You see Nycro going into this kind of trademark at this point, 2 gas. Gonna make the crazy prediction and see that he's gonna put 2 workers in each gas, at least at first. Then MrLando with the gas racks. Probably going to see a Reaper out of him, just like last game. Yeah, with the rally you can definitely tell it's going to be a Reaper, just for that scouting information. And then yeah, there's the 1, and then he's going to rally the 2nd worker into his gas. So MrLando and Nycro just doing totally mirror builds, exactly like the last game. So we're going to see like when, if at all, their builds start to deviate.
Yeah, the one interesting thing here is Nycro kind of hid his pylon on a low ground behind his natural, and MrLando will notice that there's 1 pylon missing here, and it's going to force his Reaper to probably check some other locations, maybe even before the main base.
That is definitely sneaky. MrLando obviously now is he's probably a little perturbed, he's a little freaked out, he's like a strong enough player that he counts those pylons, and yeah, like you mentioned, we can see that he's instantly checking for proxies. And it's just, look at this merry way this Reaper's going to go. Just so far out of his way for really just nothing. And then, oh, this SCV doesn't even go to check. So yeah, MrLando now, he's like, what? He's expanding and he doesn't have a pylon. Like, what is going on?
Yeah,
So this Reaper eventually going to make his way to the natural, but it's so delayed. Like, he's going to have the Mothership Core out, and he's like going to have his Stalker almost done by the time the Reaper even gets to its base.
Yeah, nice little mind game coming out of Nycro there, and it's the smallest thing, and it really, like you said, delayed the Reaper scout, and now with the Mothership Core out, the Reaper really doesn't have a lot of time in his base, and he's going to have to get on out of there and come back in a few minutes and check to see if there's anything else weird happening. But on the other side, Lando is opening up absolutely identically to how he opened up last game, so we will probably see some mines.
See those mines, maybe drop. But on the other side, Nycro is actually going for Stargate. Probably, I'm going to predict Oracle, just because it seems like right now the most, like, I guess, safe and possibly aggressive play, because you can use them obviously to detect for those mines, and then you can use them aggressively, try and get some harass done. So again, like Nycro, if he does indeed go for this Oracle, fairly solid play. His builds seem like they're pretty cleverly designed to be anti mine drop, which is exactly what MrLando is going for again.
Oh, that Reaper did not get a scout off, I don't
No,
think.
oh, almost
Just
had it,
missed
but
it.
in the end did not. Yeah, and see, there's that Oracle. So he should be well prepared for this mine drop. Depending on, oh, he's actually going to be quite aggressive, moving these stalkers out, going to coincide with the Oracle. Huh.
With the
So this
expansion going
is,
with the
yeah, this is
expansion going down for
interesting.
Lando, he's got to be careful. Now these Marines are gonna catch these stalkers out though, and that's
Oh,
gonna
is Nycro looking? Is Nycro looking? Okay, he is. He's gonna. So he can kite these basically to infinity, as long as he's like paying attention. Oh, he's actually okay. He's not gonna try. He's not gonna risk it. He does have this Oracle now. If he can catch all of these Marines in the middle of the map, that'll leave MrLando with almost nothing.
you know
Oh, he's
what?
losing his
There's
Stalker.
yeah, losing the stalker sucks, but there's no engineering bay down for MrLando, and he's moving out with that drop. This Oracle is gonna do a crap ton of damage. Whether
This Oracle is gonna counter one Marine.
yeah, exactly. And I'm wondering where that engineering bay is. It's completely missing from Lando's build.
Yeah, and then Nycro actually not choosing to get a second Oracle, at least at the moment. So he's not gonna have any detection available for this mine drop. And he's not really using his Oracle. He's just kind of chilling out here. I think that was
Yeah,
definitely an error because you can see like MrLando started to build those Marines and mines. And then going into the natural again with these Marines, not really going to do anything, just like last game. Nyco's just got his Stalkers ready. So there goes the mines. 2 mines going down.
oh, the vision.
Oh, great hit from the mine, getting 8 workers. Definitely not what Nycro wanted to happen there.
And finally, the Oracle's moving in on the other side of the map, and there's still nothing here. It
Yeah.
would have been nice for Lando to leave one Widow Mine back, but the reaction is pretty quick here. He's going to pick off a few SCVs.
Oh, that
Actually,
Oracle just is a death machine. Already 6 kills, 7 kills. Can he get... being a little greedy. Okay, picks off 8. Now he's going to fly away. So even on both sides, 8 workers killed. 8 workers killed that mine drop, and 8 workers killed the Oracle.
yeah, it was a pretty nice response coming out of Nycro. So he's not. He's actually pretty far in the lead right now in terms of worker count. Mules will help out, of course, but this is a pretty big worker deficit for MrLando. And again, he's skipping the 3rd command center. He's moving into 2 extra barracks down on the natural. So he's going to be looking to either deny a 3rd base and put pressure on the natural at the same time here, because without that 3rd command center, he doesn't really have too much
And
else.
his SCV count is already so low. He's at 31 SCVs to the 45 probes of Nycro. And that's obviously not all harass, because they both took like equal damage. But that's just, I'm trying to figure out like what his plan is here. I guess go for like quite a strong 2-base attack. But unfortunately for him, he's going to run into the Colossus of Nycro. Huh.
And
What
with
do you
no
think
engine.
about this?
Oh,
Sorry. What do you
sure.
think about this Warp Prism that's going in here? What do you think that's going to be? That's going to be for?
I mean, I would guess probably just zealots warping in.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's actually, yeah, he's gonna warp in some zealots and move them in, just to force Lando to react to something else. And with him moving across the map here, he's gonna be way too far to really be able to do anything. And the Oracle spots to push out too. So Nycro, it just in every aspect of this game, is prepared for pretty much everything.
Yeah, he is very on top of his scouting. He seems to be seeing like basically everything going down. So there goes the Zealots. Oh, great Widowmine shot, killing 2 of the Zealots. But there's
they're
still
focusing
2
on those
left.
tech labs.
Oh, if he can get either the combat shields or the stim, that would put such a huge blow into MrLando's push. Oh, it's looking like he's going to be able to get the repair down and pick off these Zealots. Eventually, maybe. 2 more Zealots warping in.
With no stim done, he can't really do as much
you
damage
can't
as he's really
micro.
looking to do. This is pretty terrible for MrLando here, and the Zealots are going to get away.
Yeah.
Now,
But at the
luckily,
same time,
combat...
yeah, this mine drop is going in. The Marines are dropping, picking off the mothership core as fast as possible. Mine is going down. Nycro again with the just great positioning on his probes. He knows exactly where those mines are at all times. So he's not going to do too much damage. But picking off that mothership core is quite a blow for Nycro's defensive position.
Yeah, especially when we know that Lando is really trying to set up for an attack here with +1 finishing up and combat shields and stim already done. But this Warp Prism is really keeping him home, and that's really frustrating for Lando because the longer he takes to get the attack going, the more Colossus are going to be here for defense. And, Thermal Lance will finish, and things are just going to be rougher and rougher for him. With no Photon Overcharge to have to deal with, though, that is nice. And, we're going to have to see what happens. There's still no Vikings on the field. And again, this Mothership Core, this Warp Prism sneaking in here. That is so annoying.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what MrLando is going to be able to accomplish with this push. It's a very marine heavy force against these two Colossus. No thermal lance done yet. That'll be done in about 30 seconds. So I feel like as soon as thermal lance is finished with those sentries with like full energy, so many force fields, it's going to be almost impossible for MrLando to do any damage.
Yeah, and meanwhile the Zealots are still wreaking havoc back at home. 5 SCVs have been killed here. The SCVs have been pulled off the line, and there's nothing here that can kill this mothership. I keep calling it a mothership, or this warp prism.
Warp prism. And at the same time, MrLando is down 20 workers, and his army's smaller. So I'm really not sure like what exactly he's trying to accomplish this game. So this Oracle spots the entire army.
These SCVs are not working. I don't know what's going on here for Lando, but
they're taking a coffee break.
I think he's clicking on the supply depot.
Fix it. That's so bad. It's an entire, he's on 2 bases and an entire middle line isn't mining. So you can see his income is just totally shrunk. Okay, there we go. He finally fixes it.
But
that was, when you're going for like this kind of like really aggressive play, anytime you lose like mining is just super detrimental. And to have it be to like a misclick, that's got to be frustrating for Lando.
Yeah, and now,
what do you think of these drops?
They're not going to do a lot of damage. There's already like 17 million stalkers in the main. Now he's going to scoot past though and might pick off a forge. No, the bio is automatically attacking the Nexus there because of Photon Overcharge. Which
and he picks off a medevac.
This is really not going MrLando's way. And now we can see Nycro is looking to transition into a longer game. And this is definitely a good decision because he knows Lando's stuck on 2 bases. He knows he can defend any push that Lando sends at him. So just take a 3rd base, get your Templar Archives, get your Forge going, your Twilight Council researching charge, and even Storm here. So this is going to be, I mean, I don't even know what Lando can really do from this point to catch back up here. He's going to have to, like, my Zerg mind tells me to double expand and, you know, just defend any push that comes at you, but I don't think Terran can.
It looks like he's going to try and be aggressive here. I don't know. There's 4 Colossus with Thermal Lance, and what's his Viking count at? His Viking count is 2. So that's not really where you want to be. Did pick off that Oracle, which, I mean, at this point, doesn't really matter that much. Like, he got so much utility out of that Oracle. Not only just the direct damage through the harass, but also spotting so many potential pushes. I don't know about this push. He's way down in upgrades, only at 1-0 compared to the 2-1 of Nycro. Nycro has the Templar, Storm's about to finish, he has 5 Colossus. This is really just not a great position for a Terran player.
No, and there's something going on with Lando here because he's making some mistakes that I've never really seen him make before. Misrallied units, walking right into the Colossus, and he's not spotting these observers, and that's a testament to how good Nycro's observer placement is. Even using a hallucinated Phoenix to try to stop this drop over here, which worked, and now Lando can't drop in there. That was one sort of weak point that Nycro had at the natural here with only 1 cannon. But the hallucinated Phoenix spots the drop, and I don't know if Lando's going to try to go in anyway, but I don't know. He's got 3 medevacs full of bio here that he's got to decide what to do with.
Yeah, this is kind of like an all or nothing play. Like if this job was shut down, you don't want to call games, but that would be super detrimental to his force. We do see like the High Templar here with possibility of feedback, the 2 cannons and a Zealot already prepared. But this is 3 medevacs with units, and they're going to go and boost away. Oh, no feedbacks go down, so these are all going to unload.
Yeah, nice drop here coming from Lando. He's getting a lot of probe kills. Yeah. He's going to pick up an Immortal, maybe even a Forge. And I thought he was going to push the 3rd base as well, but Nycro is so patient, staying at the 3rd, not going to give in to this drop, even though it's a triple drop. And that actually might be bad for him because he needs to send something over here. This is a lot of Marines, and he might even be able to snipe this Nexus.
Yeah, really just great multitasking out of MrLando. Kiting back with the drop, dropping those Marines at the 3rd, and at the same time posturing in the middle. Ooh. But unfortunately for him, his main army has no medevacs, like literally no medevacs, so every stim just hurts his army so much.
Yeah, he got a lot of damage done there.
Yeah.
At this point, actually, he did even up the economy a little bit. He could maybe back up, but the thing is he's got no 3rd command center still. I mean, there's nothing to fall back on. He's building even more barracks here. But his economy is not really going to be able to afford that many barracks. And now Nycro's like, all right, screw this, I'm moving out. I got 4 Colossi, I have a bunch of High Templar, even a couple
Yeah,
sentries here.
this is kind of a death army here. Unfortunately for MrLando, look, he has 1 medevac, and he's pulling the SCVs, but I don't know. We'll see how this goes. He has 3 High Templar, tons of storms available, 4 High Templar, tons of storms available. Stormy just right on top of the bio. Archon's flanking from the side. Oh, this is not really going well for MrLando, and he GG's out.
Yeah, I mean, Nycro had beautiful positioning there on the high ground with Colossi in position, Archon's flanking from the right, and like storms just landing on everything. It was, I mean, I'm pretty sure we could have predicted what was going to happen.
Yeah, that was definitely an impressive fight. Like, he probably just honestly could have won that like A moving, but just the attention to detail. Nycro knows this is the finals. He knows they're playing for like a cash prize. He like wants the money. He wants to be the champion of the CSL season 2, and he's not going to take any risk. You know, he like just kind of pushed every advantage a little bit. Like when that mine drop happened that he defended perfectly, he immediately like went in with the Oracle, and it's just that Oracle and Warp Prism combination. Like for the first 60-70% of the game, I don't think MrLando was ever like not being harassed, just like constantly sending in Oracle, sending in the Zealots from the Warp Prism. And just a really great play. Even that triple drop out of MrLando, he took a lot of damage, but it wasn't like catastrophic damage, which I think you pointed out. That's really what MrLando needed. He needed to do like catastrophic game-ending damage to Nycro. It'll be yeah. So it looks like prior to Game 3, we're going to go into a short 2-minute break. So please stay tuned for this epic PvT matchup between Nycro and MrLando.
We'll talk to you guys soon. All right, we are back from our break. The players are ready, and we are loading into the third match here on Coda between MrLando and Nycro. And Nycro has been just playing out of his mind the past 2 games. He has made very, very minimal mistakes, if any, really. And it's shown because MrLando has had his back to the wall the entire time and only had little glimpses of opportunities to do some damage, really. And yeah, in the last game, he did some damage with that triple drop at the natural, but I mean, it was already too late, I think, at that point. Okay, so here we go. We are on Coda. Let's go ahead and introduce the teal Protoss player in the top left corner of the map. He is currently up 2-0, representing Team Paragons of Perfection. He is Nycro.
And in the bottom right-hand position, the red Terran from Team All Inspiration, MrLando. Down 2-0 in this best of 7. So this is like a super... I think this is probably the most important game of the series, because if you're down 3-0, like, yeah, comebacks happen, crazy comebacks happen, but it's pretty hard, and especially with the condition Nycro's showing, like, it's hard for me to imagine, like, really any Terran player beating him 4 times in a row. So let's hope that MrLando can pull off some magic.
Yeah, he really has to pull out something here. We were talking on a break there about how the mine drops are just not working, and I'd like to see something completely different coming out of MrLando here. Maybe something like a quick 3 racks push after the expansion, or even just stay home and be defensive and take a 3rd base. You know, because Nycro hasn't really shown... Well, I mean, I guess in Game 1 he did do the 2 base Colossus push, and that would do pretty good against a 3 base Terran. But besides that, I mean, in Game 2 the 2 base, or the 3 base play from MrLando might have worked a little bit better.
Yeah, I feel like he's just going for these drops, and they're just, unfortunately for him, really not doing the damage necessary. And then, like, if you go for like those kind of early drops, then when you're trying to switch into Vikings to combat the Colossus, your Vikings are like so late. Like every game we've seen, there's been like 4 or 5 Colossus, and then like 2 to like 6 Vikings, which is just really like not the number you want. You want that like overwhelming Colossus force, or you want that overwhelming Viking force to combat the Colossus and just like target them down.
So this time we got 3 probes in each cast, and we have a sneaky probe over here getting ready to drop a proxy pylon. This is prime territory for a Stargate, because that Oracle will take literally no time at all to get into this main. But that being said, we have already seen that Lando knows how to count pylons, and he's going to be on the lookout for some proxy shenanigans here with that Reaper. So he should be able to find it. But that being said, I mean, if he doesn't find it, he's going to find himself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like this is just it's like obviously, like you point out, a good position, but just because it's such a good position, like every Terran player would know that it's a good position. So we're gonna see. It's looking like he's just rallying the Reaper to the main. Maybe a little bit distracted after that beatdown of the last 2 games. Not gonna be as on the lookout for those pylons. Huh.
Yeah, his SCV's in there too, and he knows there's only 1 pylon in this main. But this Stargate is going to be finishing up kind of soon here.
Yeah. Now this Reaper, there was no fast Mothership core on account of that Stargate, so this Reaper is going to be able to annoy Nycro a little bit, but then those Stalkers are going to force him out. I don't know. I don't know about this Reaper. Like, I get that getting it over the main is important, but he already had all that scouting information from the SCV. I feel like he could have been better served by looking around for that extra pylon.
The SCV does seem to be looking around here, and the Reaper's coming back in. Seems to be a little focused on trying to get probe kills here, which...
Yeah, it does get 1.
That one's going to be nice, but he's about to lose a lot of SCVs here. Does he have any defense here?
He has 2 Marines.
Yeah.
2 Marines and starting an engineering bay. This is going to be rough. As we've seen from the last game, Oracles absolutely shred, like, basically everything. So this Oracle's going to fly in here. Going to be looking to, I assume, target these 4 Marines. Or targeting the SCV that was building the expansion. Targeting the SCV that was building the factory.
Oh, God.
More rays of death. Zap, zap, zap. Picking off every Marine, and now there's literally no defense. He's building 2 Marines at a time. Yeah, GG.
Oh, wow.
Nycro taking the extremely fast game and going up 3-0. Wow.
He's just making all the right decisions. I mean,
seriously.
Now, I mean, it is a little bit of next level play for MrLando to be expected to be able to find that Stargate, but I've seen him do it before. I know that he's capable of that type of play, and I mean, I don't want to stay on this too much, but MrLando's just really not playing himself today, and he's getting wrecked because of it. I mean, he's down 3-0 now, and we are looking like we might have a repeat of Season 1 where Pisosa just came in, destroyed Canary 4-0.
Beating some nerds up. No, but I think that shows that Nycro, like, obviously has a good idea of how to play longer series. Like when you beat your opponent just like two games, just like totally like demolish them basically, which we saw those games. Like MrLando had his build that he had obviously planned out and just got totally shut down. And the counterattacks just totally shreked him. Like going for like a little bit of cheesy shenanigans definitely can play with your opponent's head a little bit. So now MrLando has to win 4 straight games against an opponent who has proven that he's like basically willing to do whatever. Like he's willing to go for the macro game. He's willing to go for the 2-base push. He's willing to go for the cheesy Stargate. So that's just like that's so much MrLando to think about in 4 straight games. It's gonna be interesting to see like if he can make the comeback happen.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for sure, especially with how good Nycro's been playing. But speaking of Nycro, we have him spawning in the bottom portion of Vonnie Research Station, currently up 3-0 in the CSL Season 2 Finals. He's 1 game away from taking it. He is Nycro.
And in the top position, the red Terran player from All Inspiration, MrLando. So it's interesting to point out that contrary to the last couple series, these players have not chosen to change their colors, which I guess definitely makes it easier on the casters, but a little bit of an interesting decision there for MrLando to be down 3-0. I think at that point I'd be like, okay, like I'm not playing well.
Color.
These games are not going well. What do I do? Change the color. Like builds are fine. Yeah, just change the color, like something crazy. You know, maybe like a purple or something. Just something that's not red, but he's chosen to stick with that. So we're gonna see if he can make it work for him.
You know what's funny? This is slightly off topic, but it can pertain to this. Where I just watched a video recently where some guy was talking about how colors can sort of mess with your mindset in a really indirect way. And he said, you know, in games where aggressive play is more likely to get the victory, the red team always seems to they have like a 5% better win percentage than the blue team. Yeah, because red sort of gives you that, steers you towards aggression a little bit more indirectly. And the blue is the color that's going to keep you more calm and allow you to think things through and play for the later game, kind of. And I mean, disregarding game 1, it's been kind of going that, I guess game 3 as well. But it just really seems like Nycro has a cooler head right now.
Yeah, he's definitely been able to focus on what he's doing. And I think it just really comes down to his scouting. Like his scouting every game has just been so on point. Like he's been so on top of seeing everything. And it looks like it's again mirror builds. They're going for the Reaper for MrLando, and then Nycro is doing his patented 2 gas, 2 workers in each that he's been doing like throughout the entire CSL. Oh, what do you think of MrLando's choice not to vary it up here and just go for the Widow Mines again?
I mean, I don't like it, to be honest. But this time he actually did open gas first. So in this specific case, actually, he's going to be getting this Widow Mine out quicker. And even if the Robo Bay does come, or the Robo Facility, sorry, does come first, I think the Widow Mines can actually still hit before that Observer comes out. Now, the difference here, though, is that MrLando is more pressured than ever to actually get damage done with this. But he's going to have an easier time doing so. And this time, we didn't have a probe scout or anything like that for Nycro, so he is he's not going to be able to tell. Oh, okay, of course.
He's actually going for Hellions. Interesting. Sure. Hellions and a Tech Lab. So this is not. He definitely is switching it up. I apologize to MrLando and all his fans everywhere. I was totally wrong. He is going for a different build here. Not sure what this Tech Lab is going to be, if he's going to use that to get eventual like Banshees or something like that, or if he's going to start researching something. So he's going for the 2 Hellions, following it up with 2 Widow Mines. Huh, what do you think is going to be able to get done with these Hellions?
Not very much. I mean, this ramp is, the sort of trademark Vonnie Research Station super tiny ramp into the main. He's not going to have a lot of opportunity to really get in there. And with only 2 Hellions here, already finding a Stalker. Now, they might be able to race by. They're going to get a Scout off at least. They're going to see this Twilight Council, which is totally different coming out of Nycro here.
Oh, this Hellion gets trapped in the pylon. So one is already going down. Oh, stacking his workers up.
Yeah, he got 3 probe kills, but he didn't spot the Twilight Council. So, I mean, I would have liked to see him at least try for a
2
Scout.
Hellions. I don't know about that one, but it's looking like he's going to add the extra bags a little bit earlier, so he's playing a little bit safer than he has in the past. Hmm. So it's going to be DTs out of Nycro. So again, switching up a little bit. Throwing down the Dark Shrine.
No engineering bay yet. So
No.
if Lando just decides to forget about the engineering bay again, then the DTs could be pretty good. But this supply depot wall here is going to be enough to give Lando some time to react to it.
Well, I think with this robotics facility, we're going to see possibly like a warp prism, and used to warp in those DTs or to drop them. At least that's what I was thinking as a former cheesy Protoss. I played Protoss for quite a while, and my repertoire was basically entirely like either Proxy Phoenix or DTs back in Wings of Liberty. So I'm no stranger to the kind of shenanigans that a Protoss can get up to. So I think that's probably what we're gonna see. However, he does have this pylon just kind of as a backup on MrLando's side of the map.
Yeah, that is a good point, though. We should see the warp. Oh, he's going for observers. He
No,
does
there
have
we go.
some
The Warp Prism. The Warp
yeah.
Prism dream is real. Interesting
There's nothing
enough,
here.
Yeah, he has one gateway, and he's making another one. So he's going to have two gateways when his Warp Prism's done. So I guess just really fast DTs, really fast warp in, hope to get lucky that there'll be no scans.
Even if there are a scan, or if there is a scan, this Dark Shrine is in a pretty good spot that might actually get missed.
No, actually, he is going in with the Dark Templar from the front. Huh. Not sure I agree with that decision, actually. Oh no, he sees it. Okay, so he sees it, he backs up.
Lando just opened the door for. Okay. Well, I guess the DT is just going to get picked up by the Warp Prism then.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so again, this mine drop is coming, but it's really delayed, and it's given.
Oh, are they going to see each other? They do. So the two drops, they do spot each other. So it's going to come down to who can react faster.
Lando is pulling back, but he's with no engineering bay. He's going to have to make sure he saves some scans, and he doesn't have any right now. The main orbital is going to get one kind of soon, and the engineering bay has been started now. But these DTs are already coming in. He's going to have to lift up this command center and try not to lose too many SCVs and Marines here.
Yeah, Nycro doing a good job splitting up those DTs. Because you mentioned he only has one scan at the moment. So you definitely don't want to stack those DTs together so you can get them. So one scan is about to go down on this DT, I would assume. There we go. So that's going to be able to be picked off. Killed actually a ton of workers. 12 workers already. 13.
Wow, even more. Yeah, there is a scan here in the natural, and he's going to warp in. Looks like a few more. He's going to get another Dark Templar in here. And Lando is just getting torn apart by these Dark Templar. He hasn't been able to find an opening to drop these mines, and he's going to come in through the center of the main, but there's sentries and stalkers here. There's observers here. Really, he just needs to get rid of these Dark Templar and try to pull himself back. But, I mean, Nycro even dropped his expansion earlier than MrLando did. So, with the gas first into the Hellion play, could have been a pretty nice option, but I just feel like it didn't. It obviously didn't get enough
big mine drops. So he finally gets mine shots off that actually do quite a bit of damage, getting 7 kills with those 2 mine drops. But then is he going to be able? Oh, picking off the medevac. That was really just sloppy play out of MrLando not to pull it back.
Yeah, now he did take care of the Dark Templar in his natural though finally, but he's got such few workers here. I mean, he's going to be forced into going into extra barracks again, I think. We'll have to see.
And this Warp Prism again, just spotting the drops. Like, I feel like just Nycro, every time he goes for any sort of harass, be it like Warp Prism or Oracle, he just gets so much scouting information out of those aggressive units.
Yeah, and he's spotting everything. Now, this double drop, I mean, there's not a ton of units here, but there is going to be Photon Overcharge. This really isn't going to be enough here. And as far as upgrades go, Stim and Combat Shields are done, so the Marines can stim up here and pick off some Stalkers, but he's going to...
Yeah, Nycro focusing on those medevacs. Time Warp goes down, loses the Mothership Core, and he's losing a couple Stalkers here.
Yeah, but the Colossus shows up. Yeah, the Nexus focusing the medevac there was pretty good. And, I mean, minimal damage, really, when all's said and done. Losing 2 medevacs is going to force him to feel like he has to build more medevacs once again. And the Vikings are going to be late. So,
yeah,
once again...
he's just falling into that same trap that he's done, like, every game, where he just keeps going for this medevac job. And like you mentioned, the Vikings are so late. and he has no medevacs for his actual army to defend when the push comes.
He keeps trying to drop, and now like without the third command center, getting into the 5 barracks production off 2 base again. The +1 is delayed as well. No Vikings out. No Vikings even being made right now. Vikings are so expensive. If you ever play Terran and decide that you need to make Vikings and you're only on 2 base, it's really hard to do that. We have only 1 guy in gas in the natural, and just everything is kind of falling apart here for MrLando. It's kind of sad, really, because I feel like this could have been a much more intense matchup here, but Nycro has just been pulling away from it right from the start. And this drop over here on the right is not going to do anything.
No, Nycro's map vision has just been like, that's really been the tail of the series thus far. Like, he's seen, I mean, I think every single drop, I would say, has been spotted. Like, really every single push that MrLando has chosen to go for has just been seen by Nycro, like, ahead of time, and he's been able to prepare, like, just be super on top of it. And, like, again, just forcing this drop off, like, just every time, minimal damage. Like, he's taking, you know, a couple losses here and there, a couple workers at a time, losing, like, obviously that mothership core and a couple stalkers. But again, just MrLando is committing so heavily to these drops that he really just needs, like, catastrophic, like, game-ending damage to go down. It's just, it's not happening for him.
No, he's finding himself supply blocked as well here. And just everything is slowing him down. He can't make units. He can't make a third command center. He's still pretty late on upgrades. Now we do see a third command center going down. Really delayed. And, I mean, Nycro's third is already up and even halfway mining as well. So I just don't know. Like, what would you, if you were MrLando and you had all the skills in the world, you're like Polt in this situation, what can you do to pull yourself back?
I mean, it's a difficult decision to make, but I feel like he can't do, like, any sort of crazy shenanigans with, like, mass drop, like a doom drop or something like that. He's just got to keep going with those medevacs, keep hoping that he can delay Nycro's eventual, like, Death Colossus push, and just hope that one of those drops, you know, one of those, like, 5 Marine or Mine drops gets super lucky and, like, cleans out a mineral line or kills, like, some crazy tech structure. And then, yeah, see, again, just 2 kills in this mine. Like, just, this would be rough for MrLando. Like, I can see he's definitely, you can see he's definitely getting a bit frustrated by this. Like, he keeps sending these drops in, controlling them fairly well, but then time and time again they're just shut down totally by Nycro. So here goes another mine drop, another chance for some victories.
But there's a cannon here. So, nice shots actually. 9 probes go down from that. Oh, he's got to get out with that medevac, please. Oh, he's got 2 really low medevacs down here that really need to get out because he can't afford to build anymore. It looks like he's just going to keep him here and kind of hope Nycro forgets about them later.
Yeah, but at the same time, Nycro is moving across the map, and this, like, look at MrLando's army. It's bio, like, not even any medevacs. He has really nothing, and he's forced him to go into those Viking production. So, like, every stim is just going to hurt his army so much.
This DT that's out here patrolling outside the main, too, has been a pretty nice scouting tool for Nycro to be able to tell if Lando ever wanted to move out. There's 4 Vikings in the air now, 2 more on the way. This push is rapidly approaching, and MrLando needs more time than this.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a hard push to stop. And again, look, his medevac count is the 2, like, super injured medevacs that aren't even with the main army. And these Colossus are just being total bullies, picking off the supply depot wall. MrLando is now just totally stuck in his base.
Here we go,
Killing
big
his own
stim.
supply depot, yeah.
Oh god, that stim wasn't for any reason.
No, and it just hurts so much.
Yeah,
down to
exactly.
1 medevac.
There's pretty much no medevacs. There's a nice amount of Vikings out now, but they're all split up.
And the Warp Prism's saving that. Actually, just kind of picking up a full health Colossus, yeah. And a weakened Warp Prism. Not sure about that one. Maybe a misclick or something.
Actually, those Vikings could pick that off, but no, it doesn't look like it. I mean, Lando is gonna try to, like, pre-split his defense here and stop Nycro from pushing up the ramp, but the whole time Nycro's just mining off of 3 bases. He's getting like 1,000,000 upgrades, +3 storm, +1 armor. I mean, Nycro doesn't even have to go in here.
No, he could just sit here, like, posturing the entire time. Like you mentioned, his upgrades are just so ahead. His economy is so ahead. This is really, at this point, Nycro's game to lose. And unfortunately for MrLando, down 3-0 in this series, this fight, unless he can pull some magic out of his Terran cap, is going to be the end. The Colossus raining death upon up on the Terran Force, just disintegrating under the might of
Pulled
Nycro's
SCVs
power.
from the natural are dying before they even show up to the fight. And here he comes. He's busting up the main ramp. GG comes out from
GG goes
MrLando.
down.
And that's going to be it. We have
Wow.
another 4-0 victory for Nycro here in the Chobo Star League Season 2 Finals. That's unfortunate. I don't know how Lando's feeling there, but my heart goes out to him because, I mean, I know he can show better games than that. I'm not sure what happened
Yeah.
tonight, but I mean, maybe it was just Nycro. We can't discount the fact that Nycro just looked amazing. There was never any doubt really in any of the games that he was going to lose,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Like
no, he was
we tr
definitely like comfortably ahead.
yeah.
Against another top Terran player in the CTL, Monk, where he basically made Monk look bad, just like he just did to MrLando. And I think at this
Yeah.
point, what like Nycro does better than like really any Protoss that I've seen in the CSL is he just scouts literally everything. Like at all times, he knows exactly what's going on, and he just like defends everything so well. And I think like at this time, I'd like to point out a little bit that I was able to take a game off Nycro in the round of 32. So I'm gonna hang my hat on that accomplishment because as we
Yeah.
saw from MrLando and Monk, they were not able to match that feat. Yeah, huge props to Nycro taking the grand prize of the CSL Season 2, prize of $20 and the championship
20 big
for
ones.
Season 2.
He
Yeah,
can like go to McDonald's with his girlfriend
just buy
or
the entire menu.
well, I don't know if $20 is going to get him all that, but yeah, I mean he can take a night out with that money. He earned it for sure. And Lando isn't going home empty-handed. He's going to leave with $10 as well. So he's going to have to leave his girlfriend at home when he goes to McDonald's, but uh, that's
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, it was a really, really good showing from Nycro. He played really, really well. I didn't really get a chance to see a lot of his games throughout the CSL season 2, so it's a bit of a shame because, if I ever felt like I wanted to play Protoss, I'm really sure I could learn something from him.
Yeah, you can now go back and check out those VODs.
Yeah,
Most of them uploaded to the YouTube channel for the Chobo Team League. And then just want to give a shout out to everyone that was involved in the production for the season 2. Obviously, TB Ham like paving the way, doing like
yeah.
the lion's share of the observing, the scheduling, setting up like Google Docs of times, getting the overlays right, just really like putting a lot of effort into the team league. Plus, like on top of that, all the casters that contributed like their time, and definitely the players for showing good games, mostly showing up on time, putting games in, doing their best. And then if you are interested in participating in Season 3 of the Chobo Star League, qualifiers start, I believe, the 22nd through 26th of August.
Yep.
So yeah,
That's exactly it. And it's worth noting, this is going to be kind of like a fresh start for CSL because season 2 did have some master players in here
yes,
because they'd earned their place from season 1. But season 3 is going to be your chance. If you're someone like me who is not masters and cannot contend with masters, but maybe are able to beat some diamonds here and there, it's going to be your chance to get showcased in the CSL. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to actually go pretty ham on the qualifiers here and
yes,
try to do well. Just
everyone
realized
should
my cat's in the background there. She's a
making
star.
making a
But
little cameo there. But yeah,
yeah,
definitely really great showing by Necro. Unfortunately for MrLando, falling short. But yeah, great games as always for the CSL. So definitely, as you mentioned, if you're interested in participating, please sign up for the qualifier. And then also, if you're new to the Chobo Team League, there's some information on the Twitch channel. So please sign up. We're always looking for new players, new teams, and it's a good opportunity to play with some friends, have a good time, and get your game casted by great casters like us. So
absolutely.
please check it out.
Joining the CTL and joining a team has been the best decision I ever made in terms of my whole StarCraft career. It really added a lot to the game. And like, if you're not on a team and you're laddering away by yourself and you're having frustrating nights and there's no one to like confide in, it's totally different. When you have a team, you can balance wine with them. You can play casual games with them. Everything. It makes your StarCraft life so much better. So if you guys are watching and you're not on a team, really. I would highly, highly recommend it. There's a whole bunch of teams here for the CTL. Go ahead, check out the site, and pick one. Well, yeah, I guess that's it. Eh? I think we mopped
Yeah,
everything up. We've taken care of everything. Again, congrats to Nycro, season 2 winner. And that's all I have to say.
yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed the stream and enjoyed the Protoss domination that we witnessed here. So all hail to Necro, the
Yeah.
season 2 champion. So yeah, thank you
Yeah.
guys.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks again for watching. And I'm sure TB Ham will see us off here.
Cold light falling on the ground. Long day, but we won't back down. One thing playing on our minds. Long wait, but we won't give up now. You crave the love I gave, and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. We are the champions of the night. We are the champions of the night. Yeah, we are the fighting tide, the ones that burn so bright. We are the champions